Good morning, Braves fans. This is Ken Anderson here on November the 25th, Monday, November 25th. Thought I'd go over the offseason moves up to here and what I expect kind of going forward this week. First of all, let's start with the bullpen. Tyler Kinley and Pierce Johnson will not renew, and we signed Joel Payamps to a contract, and we re-signed Rocio Iglesias to a one-year deal at the same $16 million. I do like the Iglesias signing. Yeah, there is his good age. There is some risk there, but I think he learned how to pitch with a little bit of dying fastball last year, and the key will be keeping him healthy and his numbers down. I think he definitely can close for us. Payamps is a high upside, and hopefully the Braves see something, which I do, in his metrics that they can easily use him. If not, it will not cost too much for him to go the other way. The Rays also did sign Joey Wentz to a contract, which I do like, getting him in. And a lot of people are questioning, what are we doing in the bullpen, whatever. But with a new pitching coach, Jeremy Hefner, all pitching coaches have a different style and how they want to get people out. And, I think that maybe Alex is just matching Hefner to the pitchers and how they want to get people out. And, when I took over at Boyd many, many years ago, I took over for Clay Parker, who had pitched in the major leagues, and he had a pitching philosophy that mine differed from. And, some of the kids that we had that pitched for him didn't pitch so much for me. And some of them transferred, some of them just went out in the field and played. But, I think that's kind of what's going on. And fans need to kind of just give it some time and see where the bullpen actually ends up. Yeah, I reminded one of my really good friends on here, it's November 25th. I mean, people are losing their minds over any kind of move right now, saying this, they know what's going to happen or they don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of useless, fruitless, to be honest with you. I remind you, most of AA's moves happen in early December, so we got some time for it. And I expect definitely action to start happening as we get close to the winter meetings, which starts December the 7th, and through the winter meetings and right afterwards. So I expect the Braves to be doing stuff, and I do expect maybe another bullpen arm. And as far as starting pitching, it was really good to hear that Grant Holmes and Reynaldo are both progressing very well. It also gives them some people they can put in the bullpen if needed. I do expect the Braves to try to go after and get a veteran starter. Whether that's where they spend the money at, and it's Ranger Suarez or Chris Bassett, or they make a trade. I do hear the Sonny Gray rumors. I do not believe we're going to have Sonny Gray, but could be proven wrong. I don't really think that's where we're going, but we'll see. But maybe get a veteran starter that's durable, that can give us innings. I do expect us to try to use 6 starters next year. As Alex even talked about in his interview, you can use off days and things like that. I want there to be a patented 6-man rotation, but I think they're going to try to get through the season with Sale and Shirley and Strider as healthy as possible. Also, to keep Waldrop's innings down. It'd be his first full season as a starter. So I think the Braves pitching is right on track, and let's see what Hefner does with his style and his philosophy, and see how he approaches it. And we'll see how Walt handles the bullpen. Walt's going to handle it a little different than what Brian did, so it'll be interesting. As far as position players, I love the Mauricio Dubon signing. Not as much as for a starter, but just the versatility. We also renewed Eli White's contract and Brujan's contract. And what I can see from Alex right now is getting guys who can play multiple positions. You need your bench to be able to play anywhere because you don't know where your injuries are going to come from. And I like the start of it. Now, I'd be lying if I wouldn't say that I'm just like the rest of Braves fans. I think we need another big bat in there. And I put out on Twitter the other day, would you want Pena, would you want Buxton, or would you want Marte? And it was pretty even across the board. Everybody knows any of those 3 would help us. My lean is to Buxton, just because I think he just fills all of our needs. And not only just on the field, but off the field too, a local kid. And I think, though, he would give us the balance to rotate through at DH, give guys days off. And I think he would prosper in playing in the warm weather all the time. Some of those back issues and stuff I think wouldn't crop up as much that you do in the cold, hamstrings, things like that. So That's where I would lean. But it could be anybody. I hear other names out there. I'm a big Ezequiel Tovar fan. I have no problem going to getting Tovar if we can from Colorado. I have no idea what the Rockies are doing. I think they don't even know what they're doing either. They've had a lot of changeover. The GM stepping down. They bring their manager back that was interim. So I think that's a prime spot to maybe go pluck somebody. But I do think that we're going to go get another bat, and whether that's a starting shortstop or another outfielder who can play DH. I do agree with most Braves fans. I don't really want just a full-time DH unless his name is Kyle Schwarber. Other than that, I'm not interested in anybody else. And then Kyle, God bless him, his contract's going to be so outrageous. I really don't want him at the money he's probably going to get. And I do think the Phillies are locked into that. What is coming up this week is holiday week. Hopefully, Alex does what he needs to do with his family and then relaxes. But there have been big things happen on Thanksgiving Day and around Thanksgiving. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. And as I told my friend on Twitter through DMs, the key is to see what the next move is. It'll really tell. Because I think we've pretty much got the fringe guys in place. So the next thing would be, okay, where are we going with the next money? We all can differ in whatever. There's a sport track that actually can keep up exactly where the money's at. Bogey does a good job trying to keep you up. In my eyes, he's about $5 million off, but he may think I'm $5 million off. It's irrelevant. But we have a chance to spend some money. So where's those next dollars go? So if the Braves use that money as a free agent, say, for instance, they sign Chris Bassett to be that innings eater guy in the rotation, then that's going to take away. We're probably not going to sign a free agent hitter. And vice versa. If we were to sign a guy like Kyle Tucker or somebody like that to hit, or, pie in the sky, like some Braves fans want Bo Bichette or something like that, then, they're going to have to probably trade to get or pick up somebody else off the smaller scale. So the next move Alex makes will tell everybody where we're going. And for all you that are wanting to jump off a bridge already on the season on November 25th, don't jump. Don't jump. We're going to be all right. And for those of y'all who thinks everything's perfect, we need more. We need more. We're good enough to probably make the playoffs. We're not good enough to win a playoff series right now unless we have a couple more holes filled in. Unless we just have phenomenal years. Austin Riley decides to finally have his MVP year and is healthy. We'll be on our way. I talked to my ticket rep today about some things, and we always get talking baseball. And the fact of the matter is that I like the way the Phillies and Mets don't really know what they're doing, and Alex has at least jumped out in front of them and started getting those fringe players, which you have to win to play 162 games. So we're already ahead of them. I hated the Mets trade for Simeon. I don't really know where he fits in to help them, except maybe a little bit better defensively than what they've had. So we'll see where they go, and we'll see what the Phillies do. They have 3 big-time free agents, and they can't sign all 3 of them. So we'll see which way they pick. So that's how we stand on Monday, November 25th. Remember that, Braves fans. November 25th. We're a long way away from the start of the season, but it will get here fast. And I do fully expect Alex to make a move before the winter meetings on December 7th. Maybe it's this week. We'll see. And as always, I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, follow me, and share. We're going to keep adding content. We got more stuff coming as the season goes on. We're breaking out social media, so man's learning how to do all this. And I thank for all the guys that are helping me, and I do appreciate it. And as always, go Braves.